Three, two, red, one.
James, Mike, thanks for joining me today. And I want to dive right in because there's a lot to get to. It seems everywhere I turn lately, people are talking about LED walls, whether it's stadiums or training centers or just corporate lobbies. But the big surprise for me seems to be that prices are actually coming down. Mike, maybe you could shed some light on this.
A lot of it's just efficiency of production. Been a lot of competitive things going on within the market, but we've seen almost a 50% drop per LED panel over the last 4 years, which is really impressive, allowing people to really have a lot more options than just a standard LCD in a conference room.
And James, what else is causing this?
Well, production efficiencies. As more and more people buy LED, obviously through economy of scale. There's a lot of increased competition in the market now. There's more players in this space. And a lot of it's just customer education. They're realizing that they have the choice of an LED wall now versus like a traditional flat panel display. So all of those things are kind of driving more and more product into the market.
Okay, so if I'm a school or a training center and I'm looking at a lobby display or maybe a performance venue upgrade, what does that actually mean for my budget?
Yeah, so the big factor is the pitch of the LED, right? Which is the number of millimeters between each LED. And the finer that is, the more expensive it is, and the further away it is, the less expensive it is. So the standard kind of pitches are between 2.5 and 3.9. That ranges anywhere between like 600 to 1800 bucks a square meter. That's a great sweet spot for schools, community centers, event venues. When you get into outdoor venues, it's actually a little bit less expensive. It's about 300 bucks a square meter. And if you need to waterproof it and weatherproof it, you have to add another 150 to $200 for that. If you're indoors and you're looking to shoot like XR or against a video backdrop, you need a finer pitch, and the price is a little bit high there. It's about $3,200 per square meter. But all of these prices are about half of what they were about 4 years ago.
That's that's just a massive shift. And I know you've both been hands-on with recent installs. Mike, maybe you can share a story about how this price shift has actually played out with a client of Key Codes.
Well, one of the aspects is they had looked at budget, and traditionally the LED side had been a little bit further out of range versus putting in LCDs, and everything from emergency control centers to larger scale lobbies where you're not stuck to that 16:9 ratio to have a unique look and difference. And the LED, both on flexibility of deployment as well, the ability to basically be maybe about 20% more than getting an LCD, you can get an LED system.
And James, you've been working hands-on with a lot of clients as well. What else would you add to that?
Well, we're working on projects, everything from 150-foot wide LED walls down to like pillars in corporate lobbies. The big difference, of course, is you're no longer stuck by that 16:9 ratio that you would be on an LED wall. The processors now are a lot cheaper, more effective. The graphic systems are more powerful, so you can do much more interesting and creative layouts than just a rectangle. And that's really opening a lot of options at the architecture stage when people are designing these spaces, that they're now considering LED from the beginning rather than it being an afterthought.
So, as I mentioned at the beginning, it seems that everyone we talk to nowadays are interested in LED walls. And it seems to kind of transcend different verticals. But what are the most common projects that you're seeing come into Key Code right now? Maybe, Mike, maybe you can give us an idea of that?
It really ranges from large conference centers. A lot of educational venues are really looking for that. We have a contract with the University of California that is managed by a company called Omnia Partners, allowing people to buy at standardized base pricing, leveraging the University of California's $30 million purchasing power that they've set. So it's really across the board, from outdoor, where people are looking at ways to leverage video to get noticed, and LED allows them to do that in a much larger scale than traditionally has been available in the US.
James, Key Code is obviously nationwide, and so we have different use cases in different areas of the country. So, what other areas are you seeing that our customers are asking for LED walls for?
Yeah, it's a lot of places like House of Worship, which have traditionally been projection based on the stage. Similarly, conference centers and meeting rooms where large format, large screens, big projectors were the way to go. Now that they're looking to refresh those spaces with an AV refresh, oftentimes the LED wall is coming in at an attractive price compared to a new screen and a new projector. And that also gives that space a lot more functionality when it's not just being used in that presentation mode. And it's just asking the question of, like, is this within our budget? And it's been a surprise to most clients that, yes, it is attainable for the price of just doing a straight refresh on that projector and the screen. One of the other considerations to take into account that's changed is not only the reduction in cost of the equipment, but also the simplicity and the speed of the install. Some small form factor LED walls we can install in a day.
Excellent. So I think the key takeaway here is if you're thinking about LED walls, don't assume it's out of reach, right? Prices are down, the technology is up, and we here at Key Code Media can help you on your next project.